Good morning. Today I'm here with Maud from Modern Homes and Repair. This is Dorothy Stokes with Tomorrow's Promise Foundation. We are out of Northeast Baltimore and we're leveling it up here. Maud is here today and she's going to talk about credit repair and how important it is to have. She's going to educate us and I would like to welcome her in. Hi, Miss Maud. Thank you for coming in. She's a boss lady, y'all.
I'm happy to be here. I'm really excited. Thank you for inviting me.
What are you going to tell us about credit repair today? How did you get into the business, first of all?
Frustration. Honestly, it seemed like every person I met had some credit issues. I'm a real estate agent as well. So I just wanted to help people, get people in homes. So out of frustration, I had to learn how to fix credit so I can help them be qualified.
Wow, that's amazing. So many people don't realize that they have bad credit or no credit at all and how it affects them.
Absolutely.
What is the few misconceptions on credit?
One of the big ones that I always come across is when people co-sign, they seem to think that they're not really assuming the debt. You are just as responsible as the person you are co-signing for. So if you co-sign for someone, you're responsible for that debt. When it shows up on your credit, if that person does not pay their bill on time, it affects you. So if you don't know the person well enough or you don't know how they manage their finances, it's better not to co-sign at all. Another misconception is people feel like if you approve for $300 a credit card, you have to use the entire thing. That's not true. You have to stay below 30% if you want to build your credit. Another one is if you check your credit yourself, it will drop your score. That's not true. You can check your credit as many times. It doesn't affect your score.
Oh, wow, that was something I didn't realize. So it doesn't affect your credit. I know Credit Karma has that going on, but can you do it with any other?
Yes, just a few companies in mind. Identity IQ, you can pull up your credit there. And Privacy Guard, they do charge a fee. I believe one of them is $24.99 and one is $29.99. But Credit Karma and Sesame would be the cheap or the free ones.
Wow, that's nice to know. So, how can you build credit?
So there are companies that will give you a chance to open accounts to build your credit, whether you have bad credit or no credit at all. One of them is Self-Lender. Self-Lender is almost like a savings account where you make monthly payments and they report that payment every month. And then at the end of the term, you get that money back with interest. You can have a credit builder card. What I do like about this card is a secure credit card. It's $200. And what it does is it reports 6 times. So it's much better than having a secure credit card from a bank because they're only going to report it once a month. So that helps to speed up the score. And also the good old finger heart, it goes a long way too. I would start with those 3.
Okay. So, Ma, tell me, with the credit repair opportunities with the credit card, tell me a little bit about that credit card.
So the credit card is called a credit builder credit card. You can literally go on the website and look them up. It's $200. They do a soft pull, so it's not going to report on your credit as a hard inquiry. You pay the $200 and they report 6 times a month. That helps because if you're going to report 6 times a month, if you're making the payments on regular basis, it will boost up your score faster than a regular secure credit card from a bank.
Can you use that for children as well?
You could, but there's an age, it's 18. So the problem with that is you would have to add them as an authorized user.
Okay, great.
Yes.
That's great to know for all these parents out here that have young teenagers that want to give them a credit card. Can student loans be removed from your credit?
That's a big one. I've heard of companies removing student loans from your credit. I personally don't think it's necessary. I think it's better to do a consolidation on those or get them deferred because if you got a student loan years ago, it will affect your credit history. So if you remove that, your credit score will drop. So it's just better to just have them deferred or put them in one payment and continue to make a payment, I guess an affordable payment. Because when you remove student loans, they tend to come back. So I wouldn't advise anybody to remove them, but I know people that remove them.
Well, I had a student loan. It took me 10 years to pay it off. So,
Yes, they're notorious. They don't go away.
yes. So I do get that. I know the student loans, especially federal funded ones, they usually don't let you remove those.
Hmm.
How can we help our kids grow credit?
There, when you have a credit card, and this depends on the credit card that you have. Like, for instance, Capital One, in order for you to add your child as an authorized user, the child has to be 15. Discover is 13 years old, so you have to check with your credit card company and see the age restriction on that. But the best thing you can do is add your children as authorized users. So you don't want to add your child as an authorized user in a card that you don't even maintain well. You have to choose a card that you pay on time, a card that has 30% to less credit utilization on it, because whatever you do on that card will affect that child. So only do it if you're going to maintain that account and add a child, so that by the time they come out of high school, they already have credit. They won't have to struggle and start from the beginning.
Wow, that's amazing. That is truly amazing to know. I like the answer to that one. Do hard inquiries hurt your credit?
Absolutely. People go out and apply for new credit daily, and they don't realize that you're dropping your score every single time a company pulls your credit. And the best example I can give you is when people go to a dealership to go buy a car, they will pull your information and then send it to other lenders to see if you could be qualified. And every single time those other lenders pull your credit, it drops your score. And by law, they're really not supposed to be pulling your credit because you didn't give them authority to do so. But it happens. So my best advice is, do not go apply for a lot of credit. Just stick with what you have. If you need to, then go ahead and apply for credit, but don't go all out every single day and go apply. I mean, when I say every day, I mean every day. There's people that go out there and apply for something new every day.
Wow. That's crazy amazing though, but like I really don't understand like how auto dealerships can pull your credits like that. I just don't get it.
They do that, and they don't even let you know until you pull up your credit report and you see all these multiple inquiries.
So, do you think it's better to just go to a bank or go to a credit union and get pre-approved for a car?
Absolutely. The interest rate is even lower than these places that are charging 20%, but that's how they make their money. They don't want you to be educated. They want you to think that that's your only option, and it's horrible.
So, what would be the best advice you would give to a young person just starting out, just left college, want to get that new car, but don't have any credit?
Get a secured, the companies that I mentioned to build your credit, start there. And if you have a family member that has good credit, see if they can add you as an authorized user, and start there and open a bank account. Once you make multiple transactions in the bank, they will start trusting you, and you can see if you can get a credit card from there. But it's better to go to the bank and get a car, get approved for a car loan than actually go to a dealership. So that's my advice to them. And save money. Be mindful of what you do. Right now, it's tax time. Lots of young people, they still get money if they have jobs, like a little part-time jobs. Save your tax money. Don't go spend it on just random things that are not even worth it.
Wow, that's amazing. So much information today. You are a boss lady. I love it. I love it. I love it. What makes up your credit score? Like, what makes up our credit scores? How is it determined?
It's 4 things. 35% is your payment history. 30% is your utilization of how you use your credit cards. 10% is your inquiries, and 10% is your new credit, and 15% is the history of your credit.
Wow, that's amazing.
So if you just get the 2 of them right, the paying your cards on time and getting your credit utilization to below 30%, you're already far better than everybody else, because that's 60% out of the 100.
So do you suggest, now this is just an opinion I'm asking, do you suggest people that, I know people, adult people, not kids, not starting out, that have terrible credit, but they, worse than the credit, they have bad paying habits. How do you suggest they get started? Money management course? Financial
Oh boy,
advisor?
that's a hard one. Miss Dorothy, there are people that you will clean their credit today, and next month, like in 6 months, they're back.
In debt.
So And then if you enroll them in financing classes, if they're not ready, you have to be ready. You have to be sick of your current situation and want to do better, because if you're not there yet, it's pointless.
So you have to be sick of being sick.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sick of being broke and sick of being, not financially stable.
Broken.
Yes.
You got to be sick of being broke.
Absolutely.
And getting turned down for everything.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. And your family have turned against you because you made your credit bad, and now you're trying to make their credit bad. Thank you so very much, Miss Maud, boss lady for Modern Homes, for stopping in with us today and leveling it up.
Thank you.
Be true to yourself, everyone, because we have to level ourselves up to get ahead. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you for having me.
We have Dr. Whitney here today, and he's going to ask a question as well.
Hi, good morning, Maud.
Good morning, Dr. Whitney.
So I'm curious as to whether it's a benefit or a detriment to pay off a house loan early.
Honestly, I don't think that it's needed. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, but I feel like the money that you're paying off a house, you could invest in something else. I wouldn't do that personally.
Wow.
I would just keep my monthly payments and then take that money and go and invest it in something else that will give you money, because paying your house off is not going to bring you any money. It's just that you won't have to make that monthly payment every month, but you're not going to get any returns from if you went to buy stocks so I wouldn't advise on it, but unless you want to be debt free.
That's a great question, Dr. Whitney. Thank you for asking it, because that's really nice, because I guess she's right about that. If you keep the credit, if you keep paying your monthly mortgage, you're keeping your credit up. If you pay it off, now nobody sees any credit movement with you.
Yes, absolutely. And it's just, I guess if you want to save up on the interest, because I guess the biggest thing about the mortgage is the interest. So if you don't want to deal with that anymore, that would be a good thing to do. And then, your grandchildren, your children the house that doesn't have a mortgage, that would be great.
Well, you know what I seen a lady do? She purchased the home and she didn't want to pay off her mortgage, but she didn't want it to be so high. So she started making big payments into her mortgage, and that lowers your your interest immediately, just by calling them and saying, hey, I'm going to put $5,000 on my mortgage, but I want it all to go towards downsizing my mortgage, none to interest.
Yeah, so you have to specify. You have to make sure you tell them to apply it to your principal.
Right.
Because if you don't, you're just wasting your time.
Exactly.
Another thing that people don't know, just by you paying your mortgage payment bi-weekly or weekly, it lowers at least 10 years off that 30-year mortgage by not doing anything different.
Wow, see, we're learning so much in here today, from young to old. Thank you, Maud, Dr. Whitney. We're having some fun up in here in North Baltimore, and we're hanging out with Lady Love, Miss Maud. She's a boss lady, y'all. Thank you for coming out.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Again, I'd like to say Tomorrow's Promise. We're located in North Baltimore. We have new adventures taking place here. We have a lot of free stuff, and we're looking for sponsorships, volunteers. We're looking for everyone to help out, because nothing gets done without a community. Thank you so very much. We're out.